So today we're going to do something kind of cool. We're going to go over all the different project watches that I've got going on for a future time on this channel. Man, I don't even know where to start really. Let us start with maybe some of the oldest things that I have. We've got this beautiful Illinois watch, and we've got this Elgin and this Alpina. All right, so these three watches, we'll start off with what seems to be the oldest one. This right over here, this Illinois watch, really cool. I did get working, so at least I know it's worth fixing up in the future. Nice wind to it. It does not keep time. It really doesn't. Something is amiss with the way that it's going right now. So we gotta take this apart, figure it out. This would look really nice, all fixed up, you know? So looking forward to maybe getting that going. These two over here, I could tell that it's the same kind of movement era, you know, that I used to work on, or commonly work on rather. This is probably the AS 1187 that you guys saw me take apart in the last video. This can't be too far off, although it has the sub-seconds over here instead of a central second hand. What's kind of daunting about both of these is probably radium hands, I'd like to guess, especially on this one where the dial looks all types of colors. I need to order some parts for these before I kind of get into it. This one needs a new crystal. You can see this moving around. And I don't know, it's got some engraving on the back. What does that say? 12/26, 1948 maybe? It's really cool. Well, you could tell it's about 1940s or 50s because that's when they started listing all the fancy stuff that they had going on in the movement. On the back over here, anti-magnetic and unbreakable mainspring or Inca block, you know. So those are gonna look really cool fixed up. I picked this up because it's a all stainless steel case, and I just think that's super nice in an era where sometimes you don't have that going on, you know. So these are very similar. So we'll work on those at some point in the future. And let's see what's next. Okay. This one's seen better days, this Kingston watch. This actually has the same movement inside as something that I really cannot wait to fix up, which is this. You guys might have seen one of these if you're into skin divers. This is the infamous Michel Mobi Dyck watch, made in France. I forget what type of movement is inside, but I know it's the same one. The same one, both of them. And when I take the crystal off of this and I polish it up, or replace it, or when I just decase this, you guys will see how gorgeous this dial is. So at some point we're going to fix that one up. This is quite a rare watch indeed. And the back always looks like this. The back, this is not all stainless steel, you know, only the back is. So what happens to the case is obviously it gets degraded over time and base metal showing, but this will look super cool, all cleaned up. I'm not going to touch the case on it. I actually really like the high dome original crystal that we got going on. But at some point, we'll see what we can do to this. It is running and stopping after a few seconds. So it's got hope. Just probably needs a good service. But yeah, this will look fantastic. All fixed up. Definitely can't wait. All right, so those are another two that we got going on. All right, now this is going to need some help. The crystal's completely done. This might also be radium. Not sure. Might just be, cheap crystal of the time, but I'm pretty sure those hands got something going on, or the dial's got something going on. Pretty nice looking watch. The issue for me is that I can't get the case back open, and I don't want to start marking it up more than it has been, at least. But, real easy. Just got to get a big nut to super glue to the back of this and take some time. And I do have the vise in my place to kind of help out on holding the rest of the case down while I do that. But I do want to get a way to see if the hands and stuff have radium on them, so I can see if I have to be a little bit more careful. But I'm almost positive the way that the crystal is turned on this. You can see through on the microscope what we got going on for what's underneath on the dial over there. But alas, we'll fix this up at some point. I mean, it'll look great when it's all fixed up and the crystal's not all hazy like that. So that is another one that will eventually get fixed. All right, now we're getting into the automatics over here. I've got two that I want to fix up, and one of them is a really cute 31 millimeter diver made by Cardex. And the other one is not a brand I've heard of, Zandel. This has to be 50s again. Got a whole list of different things that they got going on over there. Not really sure what this one would be from. Probably not too far off. Skin divers were pretty prevalent in the 60s and maybe even the 70s. But I just thought this was so cool. Even though it's a little bit tiny, 31 millimeters is no joke, especially when you have a diver chapter ring. But if you could see the way the dial looks on that, I mean, I know it's cracking a little bit, but do you see that sunburst effect? Super cool stuff. So I got this going. Part of this reminds me of like a Seiko SKX 0013. The way that the lugs are and the way that the outer bezel is. Just a really nice presentation. So that's another two watches that we will eventually get going. And for both of these, it's the funniest part. I mean, I think it needs braking grease and, just an overall service, but I don't know if you can hear that, but that's like the mainspring just not holding in the barrel, So this will actually run until the mainspring unwinds, and that's about all she's got. And the same thing is going on with the Cardex, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it only holds for so long, and that's it. So you gotta take this apart and see what's going on. All right, so then we have a Lucerne diver. I don't know if I'm saying that all right, but this one, this is a pin lever escapement, rather. And I never worked on one of those, so, you know, this is a pretty cheap way to play around with that. And if I do get this going, I mean, this would look really cool, you know? Fat loom on the hands and on the dial. And probably the calendar doesn't turn over. Let's see. Oh, it does. Yeah, so we'll see what we have going on over here, but case is in really good shape for what it is. No scratches really, and this is just a base metal case. Pretty good. So speaking about divers, we have a couple others over here. This actually just fixed up one of these to give to my friend, but I've got another. And this one has a hairspring problem, I'm pretty sure. But this would look really nice working. And this is actually just a Seiko movement inside a 7 Series Seiko. They used to make unbranded copies of their movements called Universal Time. And so technically this has a Universal Time 38 movement in there. You notice it doesn't wind, right? There's no winding going on. But that is how a lot of Seiko movements are, where you just shake it and it'll start up. So, and that is the same kind of thing going on in some of the modern Seikos that they make. So I just love the way this says 6, 9, and 12. Beautiful date window. Really nice racing dial. We'll get this one fixed up. And this is made by allegedly the same company. Different style dial. We'll put it side by side in just a second. See how those two look together. Same hands, but everything else is different. The movement is different. Yeah. This might even be manual wind. Yes, this is manual wind. So this would be really cool. All nice and working. It's fully wound right now. Obviously it's got some problems going on. So we'll get that fixed. We'll get that fixed shortly. All right, so last diver that I have for fixing is this nice Waltham. And yeah, this is fully wound too, and it's just not working. So gotta get a new crystal for this. There's a lot of things going on. Case is in more of a sorry state, but it's all there. It is all there and ready to be cleaned. And man, that bezel needs to be cleaned too. I bet you that looks fantastic underneath all this. All right. And the last watch is kind of sweet. Well, actually, second to last watch. This is a Vulcain Cricket. Branded Austin on the front. And I love this movement. Look at this. One side gets the watch going, and the other side is going to get the alarm function going. And speaking about going, this watch is going, but it's definitely not running well. And this is the back to that. Anything inscribed in the back? Something. We'll get this all taken care of momentarily. Yeah, I forgot how this all goes, but This is the case back. Tony, what a guy. Wrote his own name on there. We'll fix it up for Tony. We'll fix Tony's watch for him at some point. All right, and the last two watches that I have, I don't know when I'm going to be able to fix this, but let me take it out of the case, show you really quickly. This right here is one of the World War watches I have, World War II watches. And this is just an extra back that I put on the front, as I'm missing the bezel for the front over here. But you could see that this is a actual World War II issued watch. And I have another one, and the other one I have is missing a lot of things. You can see how much this one's missing. It's missing some parts. It's missing the ratchet wheel over there. I'm missing a crown. And the worst thing is I'm missing a spacer that goes in between over here that would hold this in a way that I could actually use it. So this one, everything's complete in the inside. It's just I'm missing a bezel for it. So we're just going to let that safely stay in here. But going back to it, yeah, I'll put all these watches together real quick. You guys, let me know what exactly you're interested in seeing me fix, because there's so very much that we have going on. And this might be my favorite, to be fair. But that's my pick. That's what I'm excited most about. And you let me know. All right. Appreciate you guys. Gonna make sure that this is a really good one coming out on some of these watches. Stay tuned.